My name is Emma Brown. I am 24 years old, and I live a quiet life in a small town where mornings are slow and people still greet each other by name. I grew up in a simple home with my parents, a place where respect mattered more than money, and where love was never treated as something casual. We were not rich, but our home felt safe. My parents believed that some things in life should not be rushed, and love was one of them. From a young age, my mother used to say that love is not a race, and my father believed that marriage is a promise, not a moment. They taught me that giving your heart should be a careful choice, not something done out of pressure or fear of being alone. I listened to them, not because they forced me to, but because their words made sense to me. Over time, those values became my own. As I grew older, I made a decision that many people today find strange. I chose to wait until marriage. Not because I was afraid of closeness, and not because I thought desire was wrong, but because I wanted my first time to be built on commitment, trust, and certainty. It was a choice I made calmly and consciously. It came from self-respect, not insecurity. In today's world, this decision often invites laughter or judgment. Some people call it old-fashioned. Others say I am wasting my youth or living in the past. I have heard the comments, the jokes, and the quiet disbelief, but none of that ever made me feel ashamed. I do not believe there is only one right way to live. Everyone carries their own story, their own timing, their own truth. I never judged anyone who chose differently. I never believed my path was better than someone else's. It was simply mine, and for a long time I felt peaceful with that choice. I felt whole, grounded, and certain of who I was. I didn't choose this path because I was afraid. I chose it because I respected myself. I met Lucas Reed on a quiet afternoon when I visited the city. It was one of those small cafes where the noise of the street feels far away and time seems slower. He was standing in line behind me, holding a book, not his phone. When we started talking, the conversation felt natural, almost effortless. Lucas was calm, polite, and attentive in a way that immediately put me at ease. He listened when I spoke, really listened, as if my words mattered. After that day, we met again, and then again. We walked through parks, shared coffee, and talked for hours about simple things, childhood memories, small dreams, and everyday thoughts. Lucas never rushed me. He never tried to impress me with big promises or dramatic words. He respected my space and my boundaries without me needing to explain them. That respect made me feel safe, and safety slowly turned into trust. With Lucas, love felt gentle. He made me laugh in quiet ways. He remembered small details about me, like how I liked my tea or the way I needed silence in the mornings. I had never felt pressured or questioned around him. For the first time, I thought I had found someone who understood my values without asking me to change them. As my feelings grew, I told my best friend Zara about him. She listened carefully, her expression serious but kind. After a moment, she warned me softly. She said Lucas often fell in love quickly, and that he didn't like waiting. She told me she had seen him lose interest when relationships moved slowly. Her words were not meant to hurt me, they were meant to protect me. But I didn't want to hear them. Love had wrapped itself around my heart so gently that I believed it must be real. I told myself that people change when they truly care. I believed Lucas was different with me. I trusted the way he looked at me, the way he spoke to me, the way he respected me, or so I thought. Over time, Lucas became more serious. He talked about the future and spoke of commitment with confidence. Each word pulled me deeper into hope. When he asked me to marry him, I felt chosen and deeply valued. I said yes with shaking hands and a full heart, believing that love and respect were finally aligned in my life. Love felt gentle. And when love feels gentle, we stop questioning it. After Lucas proposed, I truly believed he had accepted all of me. The ring on my finger felt like a promise, not just of marriage, but of understanding. I thought his question meant he respected my values and was willing to walk at my pace. For a short while, nothing seemed different. We smiled, planned small things, and talked about the future as if it were already safe. But slowly, something shifted. It did not happen loudly or suddenly. It came in quiet moments, hidden inside gentle words. Lucas began to say things like, "We're getting married soon anyway," or "There's nothing to wait for now." His tone was calm, but the meaning pressed against my chest. Each sentence felt like a small push, not violent, not angry, but constant. When we were close, emotionally and physically, I felt torn inside. Part of me loved him deeply. Another part of me felt tense, alert, afraid of crossing a line I had protected for years. I noticed how my body reacted before my mind did. My heart would beat faster, not from desire, but from conflict. I began to feel guilty for stopping moments that once felt safe. One evening, I gathered the courage to speak clearly. I told Lucas that waiting was not confusion or fear. It was a choice I had made long before I met him. I explained that this boundary was part of my identity, not something I could remove without losing myself. I asked him to respect that, the same way he once had. He listened without interrupting, but his eyes were different. There was disappointment there, and something sharper. After that night, his warmth faded. He called less often. His replies became short and delayed. When we met, his smiles felt forced. Sometimes, his words cut quietly but deeply. He told me I was old-fashioned. He said other women were easier, more modern, more flexible. Each sentence made me feel smaller, as if my values were a flaw. Then the truth revealed itself without drama. I learned that Lucas was still seeing other women. Women who did not ask him to wait. Women who did not slow him down. In that moment, the confusion disappeared. What he wanted was not commitment, but comfort. Not love, but access. I looked at the ring on my hand and felt its weight differently now. It no longer felt like a promise. It felt like pressure. When I finally faced him, there was no shouting, no begging. I simply told him I would not change who I am to keep him. He did not fight back. His silence answered everything. I walked away with pain in my heart, but clarity in my mind. Love should never ask you to erase yourself. I returned the ring without raising my voice. There was no argument, no dramatic ending, no list of reasons. I simply placed it in his hand and told him I could not change who I am to keep someone in my life. I said it calmly, even though my chest felt tight and my hands were shaking. Lucas looked at the ring, then at me, and said nothing. He did not ask me to stay. He did not try to explain. In that moment, his silence became the clearest answer I had ever received. Walking away hurt. I won't pretend it didn't. Some nights felt long, especially when the house was quiet and my thoughts were loud. But even in the pain, there was something steady inside me. I did not feel empty. I did not feel broken. I felt sad, yes, but whole. I realized that losing a man does not mean losing your worth. Letting go of someone who cannot respect you is not failure. It is protection. With time, the ache softened. I returned to my simple routines. I woke up with calm mornings again. I laughed with friends without forcing it. I learned to trust my own voice, the one I almost ignored. I understood something important. Love should never cost you your identity. Waiting is not weakness. It is a choice. And self-respect is not stubbornness. It is strength. Today, I am still myself. I am not ashamed of my values. I am proud of them. I did not erase who I am for love, and because of that, I kept the most important relationship of all, the one with myself. If you believe real love respects boundaries like this story, comment below, should love wait? And subscribe to learn English through meaningful real-life stories that stay with you long after the words end.